If you're trying to improve your kettlebell snatch technique, or if you have the exercise down, but you're stuck in terms of being able to add weight, do more reps, improve performance on the exercise in general, today's video is going to be for you. Forrest Vance here from kettlebellbasics.net, author of the Core Kettlebell Challenge. And today, I'm going to do part 3 of our kettlebell snatch technique series. So, let's hop into this one. In part 1 and part 2, which I highly encourage you to go back and review, we talked about, number 1, just to do a very fast review, the importance of learning a proper swing and getting your technique down on your kettlebell swings. So we took you through a progression. We did 2-hand swings. And if you don't have the technique on the 2-hand swing down, you really shouldn't be trying to progress to the snatch, because it all comes from a great hinge, being able to drive your hips, do the exercise the right way. We transitioned from the 2-hand swings to the 1-arm swings. So now we have the ability to snap the hips and also be able to pack the shoulder and keep that arm in position, resist the rotation. We went to a high pull, okay? We got this far, I believe it was in part 1 of the series. So a high pull. Now we're moving towards those snatches. So we're getting the hip drive, and then we're getting that kettlebell to float at the top. In part 2 of our kettlebell snatch series, we got to the punch around. So from here, from that high pull, you're just going to think about raise your hand, punch through the kettlebell. And I talked about this last time. I can't remember exactly where this came from, but I believe it was at a Strong First certification somewhere along the way. Think about if you're an excited kid in class and you go, ooh, me, raise your hand. So I'll do the whole progression for you. 1-arm swing, high pull, snatch, right? I'm going to come down to the shoulder and lower the bell down for now while I'm learning the movement. I'm going to show you the flip today. But that part where you punch through, you really want to be aggressive about jamming your hand through the bell so it doesn't come over and crack you in the wrist, but you're able to almost bring your hand to the kettlebell. So now, I'm going to assume you have all those parts of the movement down. Today, what we're going to go through is getting the kettlebell from here down. So as you just watched, I came down to my shoulder, and that's the way a lot of times we'll have beginners do it. So if we're learning the snatch, we do this is the progression that we go in. Again, 1-arm swings. We got our high pulls. We do the snatches. We learn that part, and I'll just have you come down to your shoulder as you're learning it. And then you can clean. And that is a way that you can snatch, especially like if you're going really heavy. But if you're going to do the exercise for reps, what we have to end up doing is now coming from here and flipping that kettlebell over the top. So, the top tip for this one, keep in mind, the arc that the kettlebell travels on the way down is going to be the same as the arc that it takes when it comes up. So the common mistake is people come from here, they cast the kettlebell out. And it's almost like you're still kind of getting some of that same arc as a swing, as if you're doing a swing. So what ends up happening there, if I do it that way, then the pedal's going to sort of pull me, and I'm going to get out of position. I'm going to have a hard time doing those snatches. So what it should look like is something like that with the bell close to the body. The mistake would be out, casting out, and then it's going to yank you around. It's not ideal. So what I want you to think about is goosenecking the kettlebell out of the top. So I want to flip this bell, boom, as fast as I can out of the top. Don't wait and leave that kettlebell on this side of your wrist any longer than you need to. So right out of the top, flip that kettlebell over, get it to flip quick. Almost imagine like another cue that's always really helped me is imagine like I'm throwing the kettlebell through my stomach. Clearly I'm not going to do that. But if I imagine like it's coming here and throw that bell through the stomach, it's going to keep it tight to my frame, and it's almost like the kettlebell's going to hit you. Only do that once, and then you'll have a problem. You won't do it again. But think about getting it very close to your body. We do not want a large hunk of iron flying over our head and then landing out here. Because this is like a bad leverage position. It's hard on my back. It makes exercise harder. It's less efficient. I want to think about picking something up as close to my body as possible. So again, the arc is tight into your body. I'll do a couple more just to finish off and demo. What we want is here, and the arc of the bell is nice and tight to my frame. So that wraps up our kettlebell snatch technique series. I hope that was helpful for you. Again, I highly encourage you go back, watch part 1, watch part 2, go through, practice the drills that I give you. Don't necessarily do the exercise at full intensity until you have the technique down first. So that's my final tip. Technique first, then you can add the intensity and the workouts and everything else you're doing with the kettlebell snatches. And if you like the video, check out our Facebook page, Facebook/Kettlebell Basics. Check out the blog at kettlebellbasics.net. You can pick up a full free guide to kettlebell training on there, along with free workouts and a lot more. And so that's all I have for you for today. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.